Hello everyone, thanks for pressing play. You are watching a brand new episode of ExcaliburCCGTV. We are getting you ready for Wednesday, June 17th, 2015 for all of the fantastic comic books that are going to be hitting the shelf. We're going to be covering so many of them that you should be checking out that it's not even funny because there is a stack that's going to be about this big you should be checking out. I am Chris, my co-host Randy. We come together every week to get you informed and ready for the new comics that are hitting the shelf for that week. We are Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games in Shreveport, Louisiana, as well as in Texarkana, Texas. And you can always follow what's going on with both of our stores at ExcaliburCCG.com. Many of you have been asking, and now we have an answer.
Yes.
And that question has been, when is the mega sale?
A mega sale.
And that is coming. It is coming July 16th. Through the 19th.
Now, a lot of people have been saying, oh, next week. It is not June, because June 16th is a Wednesday. That is New Comic Books Day. Anybody that has walked into the store for a sale, a mega sale before, knows that it starts on a Thursday.
Right.
And runs through Sunday.
Yep.
So, June 16th being a Wednesday should be your big clue right there. It is July 16th. And we will have many items that will have fixed prices. And I think, as usual, we'll have the back issues, as long as they don't say variant on them, the back issues. And as long as they're not our the behind-the-counter creamy goodness that we have, they will. They're usually rolling price. That they
yes.
It gets better as the sale goes on. So if you can live with the lesser of the discounts,
right,
you're more than likely to get the books that you're looking for if you've been eyeballing some. If you wait for the better discount, those books could already be gone because someone will have beat you to them.
Yes. So there we go. Guys, there'll be sale, store-wide, both stores.
Yes.
We'll be doing this.
Do us one day, do Texarkana the next day, or do Texarkana the first day and do us the next day.
There you go. That's how Randy likes it right there. So there we go.
Boom.
July 16th through the 19th, 10 to 75% off of items throughout the store. Progressive discounts on the back issues. This is huge. You will not want to miss this. And I know people have been wondering why it's taking so long, but I don't know. But we're doing it now. We had to recover.
It takes
from
the
LA
long time.
Yeah.
well, not just that. It takes a long time to refill from the last time.
Yes.
And those sons of guns up in Texarkana.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Those sons of guns. What else is happening, Randy? You got a special announcement.
Yes, at the Broadmoor branch of the Shreve Memorial Library on June 21st, I will be there to talk comics with you at 3 o'clock p.m., not a.m. I will not be there. They will not be open at that time now. 3 p.m. I will be there. This is just a time to have fun and talk about comics. This is not going in there and getting your like nerd on to argue about what DC is doing wrong or Marvel's doing wrong or Image is doing wrong. Not that. It's just to talk about what you enjoy with comics. You can also get their listing with the library there. It's Superhero Summer, I think, and they're going through showing like all the Marvel movies, just doing a whole lot of fun stuff there. Doing some verses of different characters.
Yes.
Lots of stuff that you can check out. But I'll be there in June. That is a Sunday. And I will again be there in July. I don't know what day that is at the moment.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know.
June 21st at 3 o'clock p.m.
Nice. Very nice. And guys, wrapping up the announcements, remember, we have GeekCon tickets available here at Shreveport, our Shreveport store, and our Texarkana store. You can still get them. We have them available. Do not miss out on GeekCon coming up in August.
Should be fun.
Now, we've got several new number ones we're going to dive into. Some really cool looking stuff. Randy, why don't you go ahead and start us off, please, sir?
I'm excited. Image Comics is bringing us a new number one here called The Empty Zone, or Empty Zone number one. Why am I excited? Jason Sean Alexander, I guess he has to use the middle name there, is going to be the writer and artist of this. I am most familiar with his art from Queen and Country. He did a story arc on there, and he had a really cool series called Dead Irons from Dynamite Comics a few years back that was really cool, like a Western horror story or something, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But I like his stuff. He likes to do horror stories. He goes back to like Caliber Prez.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's cool. This is a new sci-fi horror, though, that he's bringing us. And it takes place within a dystopian future where there are reanimated corpses, there are animal-human hybrids, and there's a main character, Corrine White. And Corrine White is attempting to reconcile with her past, with ghosts of her past, literal ghosts of her past.
Okay.
And it just so happens that it's a violent past, so those ghosts might not be quite in the reconciliation mood. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to this. It looks like she's a bit of a hybrid bionic kind of a person.
Okay. And I recognized that name. As soon as you said Queen of Country, I was like, that's I know I'd seen his name before.
Killer art, and I hope that it's in black and white because a lot of his stuff is, and I love. See, it's just an awesome detailed art, guys. There are just some artists that color destroys how awesome their art is.
Agreed, yes.
And he's one of those guys. So I'm hoping for black and white.
Very cool. And guys, moving on, the rest of the new number ones we're going to talk to you about are coming from DC. We had this new creative wave launch of new DC titles. Some are brand new, some were just new number ones of old properties. But this is the big one for this week. I'm quite sure Justice League of America number 1 hitting this week. Brian Hitch writing and drawing this, getting back to epic action widescreen format, just fun and excitement. We get to take a look in this issue about a religious group of aliens come to Earth to try to blend in, try to be a peaceful tribe, but there's an agenda. There's something that is going on within their ranks, and it looks like it may have ties to Krypton. So we get to see how the Justice League is going to deal with this alien, not particularly an invasion per se, but this alien arrival, and then what will this tie of Krypton be to what's going on to everything there. So Brian Hitch writing, drawing, looking forward to see where the story progresses from there.
2 real quick things with that. First thing is, it looks like your more typical Hal Jordan Green Lantern that I've seen with it. So it's not this Renegade one that we're seeing.
Right.
It's probably because it took a long time for Hitch to get started drawing this. And so I'm not sure where this takes place within continuity's sake.
That's a great point because,
So I mean, it's still going to be a great story.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I'm really hoping he's got enough issues in the sack here to keep this on time because we love his art.
Yes.
And we want to see this, and he's proven that he has some really good stories too.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this. I want it on time.
I want 6 issues on time, and then pass it off if you can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But totally so.
The one I don't have to worry about coming out late is Black Canary number 1. Why? Because this is what Brendan Fletcher and Annie Wu. Wu's art from the all new Hawkeye is where she was doing her art.
The previous Hawkeye.
The Hawkeye. Or Hawkeye, not all new Hawkeye. The Hawkeye that Matt Fraction was doing. So, with this, we have Dinah Lance, however we want to say her name.
Sure.
DC's real good about mixing up those names where you don't know exactly how to say them.
Keep you on your toes.
Dark Seed, Dark Side. Dinah Lance, she's traded her soldiering and her vigilanteing for the stage. She is now fighting to protect the gang of misfits that she's fallen in with, and they seem to attract a whole lot of trouble now because they have rechristened their band Black Canary.
Black Canary, yeah.
So it looks like fun. Should be fun here. I'm looking at this. It looks like more of her classic costume, but they've gone a little punk with like ripping the fishnets there.
Okay.
So we'll check this one out.
Very cool. New number 1 coming out, Doomed number 1. And this is about Doomsday, not particularly the main supervillain that's faced off against Superman, but a young man who is now, he has these abilities to turn into a Doomsday-like character. And the problem is that the more he does it, the more risk he takes of staying that way and never transforming back. So we get to take a look. He's just a Metropolis student that's going to college, trying to live his life. He gets this power. And then when he transforms into this, he risks not being able to transform back into his human form. So we get to see what they're going to do with this and how this is going to affect him, affect maybe his interaction with Superman going forth. Let's check it out.
Yeah. We also gonna have Harley Quinn and Power Girl #1. This is probably a highly anticipated one. Jimmy Palmiotti and his wife Amanda Connor are writing this. And this takes place during the little events that happened within the Harley Quinn where she found it. So from that, we have this story where the two characters have been transported to another world, and it happens to be the home world of the very randy Bartox. So... I mean, he's the guy that has the vest with the chest, the hairy chest, and he's always trying to hit on and find one of the human superheroines to mate with. So they will do anything except succumb to his manly charms to get off this planet. It's a miniseries, also.
Oh yeah, it is 6 issues, I think.
4 or 6 issues, one of those. I don't remember.
Very cool. Up next, Dr. Fate, #1. Another kind of similar situation here. We got a young medical school student who now, along with trying to learn med school and pass exams and pass this and pass that, he just got the helmet, the Dr. Fate helmet dropped into his lap with no instruction manual, and he's facing off against Anubis, the Egyptian Lord of the Dead, as well. Because Anubis wants to prepare another flood to wash away everything on the earth. So, med student, brand new helmet, facing off against the Lord of the Dead. What could go wrong? Everything.
Here's a cool one I'm looking forward to. Martian Manhunter #1.
Yes.
John Johns. He has a new mission. That mission is one that pretty much he can only do. He has to go around. There are invading, shape-shifting Martians on this planet. He apparently is not the last of his kind, but they are here. They are assuming forms, and he has to find them and take them out. Eddie Barrow is going to be the artist on there, and I forget the writer. Didn't write it down. Sorry. It's a good team, though. I remember that.
I was surprised that they were giving him another chance for the series, which I think is a cool idea.
I am too. I like this character, and they never really seem to have a good following to keep the story going, because they usually have really good stories with them.
Exactly. So there we go. Check that out. Robin, son of Batman, #1 hitting this week. The son of the Bat, son of the Demon, Damian Al Ghul. Now he's trying to forge his own destiny, and he has a sidekick, Goliath, who is like this man-bat type creature, man, who looks pretty freaking awesome.
Demonish looking one.
Yeah. Yes, and then we got Patrick Gleason, who is writing and drawing this series.
Love his art. One of my favorite.
Totally.
Never read his writing.
I've never read anything written by him either, so I'm really looking forward to checking this out. We get to see what Damian is going to do. What is his legacy going to be? How is he going to interact with Goliath? What is his story going forward with this solo series focusing on Robin, son of Batman?
One of my other picks for stories or new titles I'm really looking forward to is coming out here with Prez #1.
Yes.
This is Beth Ross. She is the first teenaged president of the United States, and this whole world that she is within, it's our America turned on its ear.
Right.
Basically, you have human billboards, drones that deliver our food deliveries,
right?
And you also have corporations that can run for president. She happens to be the Twitter sensation that has now been elected the president. She's not sure if she's ready for the job, but the job is ready for her.
And it's going to be a 12-issue maxi series, and this looks like a fun series.
I love the art.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of. I'm hoping they're not talking in today's kind of term and lingo, hashtags and OMGs. I don't like reading that.
I haven't seen any preview pages,
so I'm not sure.
Right.
There's a wonderful book that's out right now. I really like the story, but they do that.
Yes.
And I know why they do that.
Yes.
But I'm not a fan of it. That is not my writing style that I prefer.
So we'll get to see what this.
Yeah, we'll get to see. I'm
maybe
I'm
in small doses. Maybe
small doses would be great. Small doses I can handle.
Yes, exactly. I'm the same way. I know what book you're talking about, and
I don't use LLLs whenever I text. I go ha or ha ha.
Yeah, I'll do the thumbs up. I'll do LOL. So there we go.
I hate LOL.
Moving on, guys. Those are tons of great new #1s for you to be checking out
yes.
From Image and from DC Comics. Now we're moving on to some storylines. that are continuing and some that are starting here. Let's start off with Superman Wonder Woman number 18. Why am I mentioning this? Because Superman's Truth storyline continues through this series, and in this issue we get to see the relationship between Superman and Wonder Woman tested because of the changes that have happened with Superman.
And in the back, some of the Convergence issues, you saw a brutal preview of this.
Yes. So there we go. Moving on to the Secret War stuff from Marvel that is continuing or starting this week.
Yeah.
Overall continuing, though, we do get Thors number 1 this week. Jason Aaron, Chris Sprouse. If you've been reading Secret Wars, the Battle World, the whole world, the world that everything is taking place in, the Thor Corps are the police officers of this world, of Battle World, of this realm. They're the police force that Doom has installed here in this world. And in this series, we get to take a look at the Thor Corps as they solve a murders that's been happening across realms, in different realms of the world. And we can take a look at the different Thors, how they're going to work together, what they do, and instead of guns, we get tons of hammers.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this. I saw some preview pages, I think, on Comic Book Resources.
Chris Sprouse art.
Yes. And the first 5 or 6 pages, I was like, yes, because he's giving them. They've got their own attitudes and dispositions just from what you can see in those preview pages, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah. The one I'm most looking forward to this week is Runaways number 1.
Yes.
This just looks like a fun series. There's a prestigious school on Battle World's capital that chooses all of the brightest teens from all the different realms. And it's kind of like how there's Thor chosen from the different realms.
Yeah.
Now the current class has discovered that the beloved headmaster, thank you, I couldn't remember the word, is a diabolical supervillain. So, what happens when you find that out? You run away. That's where we get the title. You're going to be seeing stars characters like a teenage Bucky, Jubilee, Molly, Cloak and Dagger, and more from the series. There's, I think, like a Hulk character. There are lots of different teen characters. I'm totally excited about this book. Looks really fun.
When I saw this, I was like, is it too soon for this kind of a book? Because we just had that Inhumanity storyline with the Contest of Champions type book that had all the kids from different countries and stuff, but they were more new, totally unknown kids.
Yeah, and when I was first saw the preview of this, I didn't know who I was like, why does Bucky look like this? And what's going on with you? Well, now we know because they're from these different realms. So
yes.
Makes sense now.
Very cool. Yeah. So there we go, guys. That should be a fun series as well. Last one that I have here is Squadron Sinister, number 1, hitting this week in Battle World. They are the world's greatest villains.
Yeah.
Think of a superhero team along the lines of The Sopranos, Godfather, Sons of Anarchy, and they are not wanting to stay in their realm. They are wanting to take over other realms. So we get Hyperion and those classic type characters that are part of the Squadron. Power Princess, the speed
Dr.
guy,
Spectrum,
Wizard. Yeah, there we go. So
I love the Squadron Supreme so much.
I do too. I'm looking forward to this because I do like the Squadron Supreme, and I want to see this different take of the Squadron Sinister.
Do you know the best part about this, though?
Tell me.
Is that way back when Kurt Busiek and I don't know how you say his name, and George Perez restarted the Avengers, they had a storyline that had the Squadron Supreme crossover, and then shortly after that, you had Carlos Pacheco draw the Squadron Supreme for something.
Yeah.
And so Carlos Pacheco is your artist on this.
Yes.
And I've had a few issues and complaints in the past that Pacheco's really changed his art style, and I have not liked what it has become because I love his art.
Right.
And the images I've seen so far, this looks like a real big throwback to his old style. So if it is, I'm so psyched about this.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. So there we go. There's another one. A few continuing series. We do have Armor Wars number 2 hitting this week. Who is the Iron Hand? That's the big question for this issue. We also have Ms. Marvel number 16. This is another Last Days tie-in to the Secret Wars event. We also have Deadpool's Secret Wars, and we got to ask this question: if a secret war happens on a secret planet in a secret space, and no one hears it, did it really happen? That's the question for that issue. Magneto 19, similar to Ms. Marvel 16. It's the Last Days tie-in issue, but this issue, there's one person to look out for, and that is Sugar Man.
And that makes no sense because they closed the gates there, and Sugar Man was left in the Age of Apocalypse world. So how is he back?
We'll get to find out and how he's going to terrorize Magneto. And then last one, Old Man Logan, number 2. He is in a world that needs him now more than they ever have before. But now he's so overly matched by evil. How is he going to rise to the occasion? So we'll get to see that here with this second issue.
And we've got 2 links, guys, that we'll post here from Bleeding Cool because they have news, and it's important news for you as readers of the Secret Wars stuff to know that the Secret Wars is about to have some delays in the issues here. And they're going to be some very big delays on things. So don't give up on your favorite books because this is a really good series. But be patient with it because they will be there, and I know how frustrating that can be. Some of you are already probably having some PTSD flashbacks to Civil War and the delays that happened there. It's going to be kind of brutal, I think, because some of these series, I think all the other series are relying on the main Secret Wars book, and so it's like a 2-week delay on number 4, and then like a 6-week delay on number 5. So it's big, and it's going to happen. And Rich has gone through and done a rundown on this, and that's important to see. Just stick with it, and you know, it's going to be a tough hit for local comic shops because that's their livelihood. So if you guys are I know this is going to sound kind of like pandering here, but find something else to read and support your local comic shop.
Exactly, please. And I just found out, I was watching some videos on YouTube, and I just saw where it's like Asad Ribic needs more time for the main book. And I'm like, really?
He really hammered out those Thors month in and month out there. So I don't know what the deal is.
He must have huge lead time for that or something. Man,
I love Asad Ribic's art, but give me a second artist to handle the book. You know, I would sacrifice that just to have the story complete and on time.
Yeah, as much as I would love to have it all on time, done by one person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, come on, get Arthur Adams on or something. I mean, I know
that
it's a big change,
just
but
as forever.
You know, but I mean, anyway, have Assad do the first 4, and then somebody else do the last 4, and just change. Just come on, work with us, people.
Yeah. Get it out there, Marvel, because it's your livelihood too.
Yes, exactly.
It really is.
There we go, guys. Truth storyline continuing. More Secret Wars stuff continuing this week. And now it's time for our favorites. These are the books that Randy and myself are looking forward to that are hitting the shelf, that top of our stack. The first things that we read when we get them home, get them cracked open. What do you want to start off with, Randy?
The one I'm looking forward to is Lazarus, number 17 comes out. That's the first part of a new story arc. It's dealing with all the families at war now after the events of what's happened with the last issue there. Big events, and it looks like you're going to have all the different families kind of taking sides with it.
Yeah. And you're looking forward to some of the other stuff that's coming out this week as well.
A lot of the other stuff is just all smattered throughout what we had. My last week is just so brutal with like everything it hit me with so many books.
Yes, it was a huge week for me too, so I totally understand. For this week, some of my favorites, Secret Identities number 5. We're going to take a look at the origin of the Luminary in this issue. Also, finally, we were just talking about this recently, another issue of Southern Bastards. Southern Bastards number 9. It's a completely new storyline. We get to see the Craw County football team getting ready to face off against their biggest football competitor, Wetumpka County, their arch rivals. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. And I'm looking forward to Justice League and the Secret Wars books. There's tons of stuff that's coming out this week that really has me interested and really looking forward to what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
So guys, those are some of our favorites. Be sure and tell us your favorites in the comments below. And now it's that time. You know what time it is. It's time for our question of the week.
Yes.
We've had some exciting news recently about the Punisher. John Bernthal is going to be cast as the Punisher for season 2 of Daredevil. And I'm so looking forward to this. If you don't know who he is, he was Shane in the Walking Dead TV series.
Don't watch it.
Whenever that, the first couple of seasons when that aired, he's been in several other TV shows and movies. He was recently in the Fury movie with Brad Pitt,
Didn't watch
a World War II movie there. This guy does not know who he is.
I
do,
don't.
and I'm sure some of you
I
do
have
as well.
I have total faith in Marvel though casting people,
Yeah.
so I have no worry with that.
So we're really looking forward to it because, like, Daredevil versus Punisher it's been a classic storyline and trope, I guess you could say, throughout Marvel Comics. There's been many confrontations with Daredevil, Punisher and Spider-Man, Punisher and Wolverine, this and that. So our question of the week is simply this.
Punisher and the Russian.
Oh, yes, come on. And Barracuda. Our question of the week is simply this. What is your favorite Punisher story? Tell us in the comments below. We want to know. We're really excited about this. I'm really looking forward to this, especially for the possibility that it could spin off into Punisher having his own Netflix series.
Yeah.
I'm reaching, but it's a possibility.
You're not really reaching because they mentioned Punisher, Ghost Rider, and Blade as all being their next ones to target there as TV shows.
So awesome.
Yeah. For me, real quickly, this may sound like I'm just showing my Greg Rucka love here, and I guess I am, but I like that Rucka gave me a very different look at what it is to be the Punisher in his run, because he took Frank Castle and he didn't just have Frank be the guy going out slaughtering the mobsters, villains, different things like that, but they said, what if Frank was kind of a soldier again? He had someone under his command that he had to teach and had to train to be a Punisher.
Okay.
And ultimately it led to that person breaking one of his big cardinal rules is you have to be sure who it is that you shoot. And when she shot a police officer, he was done with her. It was like that, you don't break that. You don't overstep those boundaries. If you don't know who it is underneath that mask, you do not fire. Okay. So I like that it was very unconventional. He likes to try and do that with his characters when he writes Marvel characters. Some of them work, some don't work. This one worked very well for me.
That's cool. Very cool. I think I'm going to have to go with two things. I loved what Jason Aaron and Steve Dillon did with Punisher Max. I especially loved how Jason Aaron made Frank seem like he was trapped. And like when he was telling the flashback stories of him coming home from the war and stuff, how he was trapped as being the Punisher and trapped as being like this soldier as well with what he was doing. I mean, the whole storyline that Jason Aaron gave us with the Punisher Max series is one of my favorites.
It seemed like they even made it, he was trapped within this marriage.
Yes, marriage, yeah.
Because he had changed to a very different person.
Exactly.
And that marriage was, he was almost relishing in the fact that they were dead, and he was free to no longer be a part of that.
Exactly.
And that's something that you've never seen before.
And then the other one I have to tell you is Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon again with the whole Manucci storyline that they did, where it just almost anything and everything that Garth Ennis has done with the Punisher is just awesome. It's just totally worth finding and reading because it's dark, it's funny, it's just crazy good stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard for me to pinpoint like this moment or stuff, but I know what I do like, and I've loved that stuff.
And I'm sure that E.T. Steelers, I don't know his actual name.
Perry.
I'm sure that he can, has been reading long enough that he's going to give me like an actual Punisher storyline from Spider-Man or something like that. I'm like, sorry, I really haven't read many of those.
But there's several great, like I mentioned before, Punisher versus Wolverine. That happened in Punisher War Journal. That was a good story as well back in the day. Jim Lee drew that. I remember that. There's been several confrontations between Punisher and Daredevil, Punisher and Spider-Man. Punisher kills Marvel Universe. There's Punisher and Barracuda. All these various storylines that have happened, just to name a few. So guys, tell us your favorite Punisher story in the comments below. We want to know. We're really excited about the Punisher news that's happening with Daredevil and with Netflix. So there we go. And that's another episode in the can.
Yeah.
So guys, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you to all of our listeners on the podcast, on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of our new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate that as well. Remember, we are Excalibur Comics, Cards, and Games in Shreveport, Louisiana, and Texarkana, Texas as well. You can always follow what's going on with us at our site, ExcaliburCCG.com. Do not forget the mega sale. Mark your calendars now, July 16th to the 19th. It's going to be awesome. Anything else to add, sir?
Along with that, get your tickets for GeekCon and come join me at the library, Broadmoor Branch.
Yes.
21st, 3 p.m.
Have fun with that as well. Mark your calendars for that. That's it for this week. Until next time, be safe, take care. June 21st. Read some great comics. Leave us some comments below because we want to talk to you about what's going on. And we will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.